Welcome back to the education stage. Our next presentation will strike a chord with this audience, Winning the War for Talent. And here to tell us how to win that war, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owner of Rodgers Performance Consulting, Mark Rodgers.
Oh my, here we go. Thank you for that applause. Mark Rodgers coming at you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the real Motor City, where it is about 8 degrees. Now, here's the deal. This is going to be an interactive session, but because we're virtual and you guys are IRL, you know, we've got to do some stuff. So it's going to be different. Is it warmer than 8 degrees in Las Vegas today? Put your thumbs up. I need to see thumbs up if it's warmer than 8 degrees. Now you're talking. Right on. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down who was your greatest hire and why. Now, I know those of you sitting alongside of your boss right now is going, well, isn't it obvious? Now, here's the deal. There are microphones in the center aisle, and I know this is going to be terrifying, but I would like to have some brave soul go to that microphone, tell me who you are, where you're from, and tell me about your great hire. All right? So let's get one person to do it. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, brother, tell me. Who are you and where you're from?
European motorcycle dealership in Los Angeles.
Nice. Who is your greatest hire?
Oh, I'm my sales manager, Kevin.
Your sales manager. Okay.
Yes.
Why do you consider him to be your greatest hire?
Well, we're in sync with the way to do the business. He kicks ass. He's very dedicated.
Nice. Kicking ass is appropriate in this workshop. Tell me, give me one example of the way that you are in sync with this person.
Well, when COVID hit, I had 2 salesmen and him. And when COVID hit, I let the sales guys go. And then I realized that I just started being the salesman and I don't do any making a price. So I flip it right over to him like we never should have done. I used to have salesmen making all their own prices.
Yeah.
It was a mess. And now it's, we have a system now where he have another guy that backs up in sales. We just kind of a system.
There you go. You got a system. Put your hands together. Yeah. For our first brave soul. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. I want to hear another. Oh my. They're fighting for the microphone. Settle down now. It's not UFC here.
How you doing?
Good. Who are you? Where are you from?
Brookfield, Connecticut.
Nice. Brookfield, Connecticut. What's your name?
Rob.
Rob from Brookfield, Connecticut. First time caller, long time listener. Rob, tell me all about it. Who was your greatest hire?
We have one tech who's now a master tech. We have an Indian motorcycle dealership. We have other brands as well.
Yeah.
And the reason we think he's the best hire, and we've been open 5.5 years, is that he's truly married his passion to his career. I think this is somebody who would and does work on bikes for fun, in his spare time, whatever. We're always asking him if he's going home that night. And he just loves what he does. And we've had almost no comebacks from his work, and he started from scratch. He didn't come to us as a gold level tech. He went up the ranks from bronze, silver, gold. Yeah. And he's got a work ethic that is rare today, especially him. He's at his age. He's a millennial, and I'm no fan of millennials, but he's a millennial with a work ethic. So he's quite unique.
Oh, that's so funny. Rob, okay, so a couple of things. One, you know what's crazy? The oldest millennials now are 40. If you could believe that. We always think that they're kids, but the oldest millennials now are actually in their early 40s. So here's the thing. You know, the Eagles had this great song called Wasted Time. And there's this line in this lyric in the song that says, when the hours go by like minutes. And that's how you know that this person is achieving what a Russian psychologist by the name of Mihai Csikszentmihalyi crushed it, called being in the state of flow. That's when you have the perfect marriage of your work and your passion. Now, here's the other thing, Rob. My advice to you for this person, you may want to have him mentor other techs. You know, the need for technicians are so important right now. If I were you, is he working flat rate, Rob? Is he flat rate? Yeah. Okay. So, you know, if he's flat rate, what I would do is maybe carve out an hour a day, if you've got 2 or 3 other techs, just for him to be a floater to go back and forth to help those other folks. And then whatever you got to do to keep this guy, do it. Excellent. I've got time for one more. Rob, that was excellent. Here we go.
My name is Rob too.
Nuh-uh.
Rob also. So I'm from Indian Motorcycle of Metro Milwaukee. And when you asked that question, I put a lot of thought into it because for 30 years, I was an employee, one dealership. And then when I left that dealership and opened my dealership, we've been in business 7 years. I put a lot of thought into that because we hired quite a few people.
Yeah.
And one person stands out, and he's actually with me today as Trevor is my sales manager. And I can sum it up in a few words.
Yeah.
He treats my business like it's his own.
Nice. Thank you. That's great. Hey, Rob, what store did you work at previously?
Hal's Harley Davidson.
Oh my, you're right across the street from our house.
I know it.
Yeah, right on, brother. Thank
I met you
you.
before.
All right,
I
cool.
started there in 1983 and left in 2013.
Oh man, what a great career you're having. And look at you wearing shorts in
Awesome.
January.
I'm
Thanks,
loving
Rob.
it.
Appreciate it. Treats your business like it was his own. You know, this is another idea called intrapreneurship. Not entrepreneurship, intrapreneurship. And Rob, it's interesting that you say that because, you know, I started working for Tommy Hannum outside of Philadelphia in 1987. And I started as a service advisor, as a service writer. I had no idea. And trust me, when you talk about not knowing anything about the motorcycle business, I knew nothing. I didn't even know who the Snap-on man was. You know what I'm saying? And Tommy Hannum took me back to the service department, swung open the big doors leading back to, I don't know, maybe we had 7 bays at the time, you know, and he swept his hand across the service bays and he said, I want you to see this department as your own business. And I got to tell you, man, I don't think my feet touched the ground the entire way over to that service desk. And you know what? I did treat that department like it was my own business. And that's really a concept that you should employ too with your folks that you have. This is the concept known as intrapreneurship. Intrapreneurship. I speaking of great hires, I just have to tell this story about Frank from Classic Harley Davidson in Reading, Pennsylvania. Just happens to be from my hometown. But a number of years ago, Alan Friedman, the general manager there, who's also the brother-in-law of the dealer principal, so you can imagine, you know, the complexities there. So Alan hires this fellow by the name of Frank to sell scooters for him, you know. So Frank comes on board. Frank doesn't sell anything in the first month. 30 days, he's got nada. Month 2 comes along. Frank doesn't sell anything. Nothing. Zip. No sit downs, no deposits, nothing. So finally, you know, the dealer principal's saying to Alan, hey, what about Buddy? You know, and Alan says, I don't know. I feel something about this guy. 3rd month goes by. Frank doesn't sell a lick. But Alan says he's hustling, man. He comes to work every day on time. He's cleaning bikes. He's pushing bikes in, pushing bikes out. And the 4th month, he killed it. 22 units, which in a Harley store is a lot of bikes. 22 units. And then for the next 3 years, he was steady Eddie, 18 to 22 units a month. And now Frank is the sales manager there. So sometimes, you know, you have to go with your gut. What was Alan's gut telling him? He's telling him this guy's working hard. That this guy's, you know, coming in and he's not slacking off. He's not spending the day looking at his phone and, you know, cat videos on YouTube. And he was hustling. And he knew that it takes time to build a pipeline. So sometimes you have to have patience. And sometimes you have to trust your gut. Okay, here's the deal. I want you to write down now. Give me 3 reasons. 3 reasons why I should work for you. Here we go. Now we're talking.
Hi.
Hi.
I was employed at the dealership in 1978 and I'm still there.
Terrific. May I have your name and where you're from?
Gabrielle Laria, Fairbanks, Alaska.
Gabrielle from Fairbanks.
Ended up marrying the man that owned the business. So kind of ran it through that course.
There you go.
I've got employees that have been there 35 years plus.
Excellence.
I guess we treat them like family and loyal to us, and we reward them and appreciate their efforts. We always say thank you, small tokens of appreciation, and of course benefits and pay. But we want them to be successful primarily so they can do what they love, which is motorsports. I think to engage with employees that love the sport is real important.
Yeah, I do too. So Gab, let me ask you this. Can you give me an example of how you treat them like family? You know, we hear that a lot. Oh, we treat them like family. Can you give me a specific example of how you treat your employees like family?
My husband does a lot of outdoor activities, whether it's on a snow machine or water sports, and we invite them to come along as part of our group, or, you know, they feel like, you know, hey, do you want to go to the cabin? Do you want to go jet skiing at the cabin? Do you want to, you know, hang out with us over the, you know, weekend? Or
listen, I've just met you and I want to go to the cabin. Now tell me, just give me one example, and I really appreciate your participation. One example of how you appreciate their efforts.
Well, for me, it's simple. Every day they help me. They watch over me more than I watch over them. So I guess it's like just they know what I need and I thank them. I mean, and then I will, you know, hey, we need to give so-and-so maybe a dinner out or with his wife, or, you know, whatever they can, whatever they like. What do you like to eat? Or where do you like to go to dinner?
Yeah.
Or things like that.
Excellent. Thank you. Put your hands together for Gabby. Gabrielle, thank you so much. I appreciate that greatly. Boy, you know, and that dinner out with the wife, because now, you know, they're a big deal and they get to include their wife. Okay, we had somebody else run up to the microphone. We had a rush at the microphones.
How you doing?
Hey, good. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Dustin, and I'm with Nomads Mobile Motorcycle Service out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice, Nashville.
Yeah, it's a fun city.
Yeah, man.
So I had 2 things written down. I thought I'll jump up, but I got a couple more. Now that you got my brain wheels turning.
Yeah.
So working at Nomads is not just a job, it's a career. That'd be the first one. There's not really a glass ceiling. There's a lot of different places that working with my company, you can go. Instead of just having one job and just seeing that, you can see a whole progression of what you could do for the rest of your life and have a great time doing it. The next thing is it kind of goes in line with that. Not only can you work with our business, but with little to no capital investment, you can basically have your business inside of our business. Kind of what you were saying is like having your own department, but in this case, you can franchise with us and you can have your own independent business, but it's supported by the corporation.
Get out. All right, I dig that. So now what's key about this is that people need to see a path. They need to be able to see it as a career. And when you outline things for them and show them that they could have a future here, and this is how they should think about it, now you're in. Tell me about this business within the business idea that you've got.
So what's been going on for about 6 years in Nashville? I've been growing pretty steadily every year. I have a mobile service that takes a truck around and goes to clients' houses and fix their bikes on location. I've worked out a lot of kinks. There's a lot more kinks I still got to work out, but it's growing. It's doing very well. I've got a 5-star rating on Google, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, man. Put your hands together for Dustin from Nashville, Music City. I mean, Jack White's living there now, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, here's the thing that I want everybody to know. There's no easy or fast solutions when it comes to talent. You're going to have to think of and get out of the box with reasons to work for you. All right? You know, everybody's calling this the great resignation. It's not the great resignation. What it is it's the great renegotiation. That's what's happening because now, you know, workers have some power. I mean, it's a talent market right now. So here's some things that you should think about. You have to have competitive compensation. You've got to know the market in your area. So for example, you know, if I'm in a metro area and for me to get 120 unit a year salesperson, you know, let's say that's 60 grand, right? Well, I've seen people, you know, try and pay 52 grand. I know another guy who's paying 67. Well, you know, the guy who's trying to pay 52, his guys look like they just rolled out of a dumpster. You know, the guy who's paying 67, he's got some folks. So you need to know what is the competitive market for the compensation. Then, you know, when you've got somebody in sales, do they have unlimited earning potential with you or no? I mean, we worked with a dealer once who had a business manager. He had a fair plan. God, I think it was like 12% of the gross or something like that. I mean, it was a reasonable plan. Guy was killing it. We came back 1 year later. The guy was gone. He was on a strictly commissioned compensation plan. I said to the dealer, hey, where's Hubba Bubba? Not his real name. I said, you know, where's our guy? He said, I had to fire him. I said, you had to fire him? I said, well, what was it? I said, was he drinking? Was it drugs? Was he stealing from you? Dealer says, no, he made too much damn money. What? You're joking, right? If I've got a salesperson who's strictly commissioned, I hope he makes $250,000 a year. See, now sometimes people say that, you know, you've got unlimited earning potential here, but you don't really. So you've got to decide, can I have unlimited potential here? Because that's what's going to attract talent. Here's the other thing. If you don't have a 401k, if you're not thinking about matching, if you're not, you know, medical benefits, vision, dental, those are just the starting points for you to be able to get in the game. Then you got to get creative. Give some creative reasons to get out of the box. And I'm not saying you got to throw mad money at it, right? I'm not saying you have to pay wildly over market, but I am saying you're going to have to get creative. Right now, write down 3 out-of-the-box ideas other than overwhelming compensation. 3 out-of-the-box workplace ideas that you might be able to use to attract top talent to your store. 3 out-of-the-box ideas. Oh my, I like the cut of your jib, brother. Who are you and where you're from?
My name's Jason. I'm from Flip My Cycle in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Nice. North Carolina, nice part of the world.
I wouldn't really call it out of the box, but we do have a 401k, but we also have a benefits earning program. So you can earn paid time off, flexible schedule, and weekend pay. Nobody wants to work on the weekend, especially mechanics. So we rotate that, but on the day that they have to work, we give them an extra dollar or two an hour. And then they get a 1% commission on work that they do. So bringing a job at 5 o'clock on Friday, they don't want to do it, but hey, you're going to get 1% on a $300 tire. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's not so bad.
I like it. That's a great idea.
And then we had one particular employee that was stellar, and she had to move to the other side of the state to be with her family. So we developed a position for her so that she could work from home, but still be flexible enough to work for us. So it's like helps us out and fills in on the times that we need her.
Jason, I got to ask you, man. So what is she doing for you?
Business development.
Business development. Listen to me when I say this to you. That is excellent and extraordinary. Did you know that right now on LinkedIn, over the last 12 months, the job postings have doubled on LinkedIn, and 1 out of every 5 postings out there is remote. One of the big things that people want to do right now is work remotely. So if you can figure out how to do that, you're in. Put your hands together for Jason. Jason, thank you. Right on. See, now that's out of the box thinking. I got another one for you. Is it already 4 o'clock? So I got one. There's a car dealer in the metro Atlanta area, which, by the way, Atlanta's a huge market for power sports, as you know. Speaking, Rob, back to you and your millennials. He lets his sales staff, hang on a second, you ready for this? Work when they want. They don't have to come to the dealership unless it's absolutely necessary for them to do so. They're selling their cars remotely and just show up to the dealership to deliver them. Huh? Now we're talking. All right. So here's the deal. I got to get getting. So I want to talk about this. Can you see my screen? Thumbs up if you can see my screen. Thank you. Here's the model. You got to find, attract, develop, and retain talent. It is as simple as that. The number one thing that you need to do if you are going to be finding talent is you've got to use your website. Look no further than the Ohio Motorcycle Group for your model to follow. This is their talent acquisition portion of their website, where they talk about do what you love and you'll never have to work another day in your life. They talk about the culture of the organization. And this is Mike and Francine Davis. And let me tell you what, he came from the airline business back in 2000, and he gets it. They've got a terrific leadership team that they personalize here. This is Gary Miller. His dad owned Adventure before it was Adventure. I've known Gary Miller longer than I've known my wife, and I've known her for 30 years. Jolene is like a nonstop Energizer bunny. Tommy Johnson, this guy's nickname should be the Hammer. I mean, you want to talk about results oriented. But notice what they're doing here is they are digitally introducing you to the leadership team. They describe the culture, the leaders. They show you the careers that you can apply for. And of course, you can see all of the positions. Hey, they're looking for people too. But they also talk about the benefits that they've got and the fun that you can have. And listen, what you should do is go out here and check out this site and check out this 2-minute video from Benfer, who's the director of training for them. I'm telling you, it's an important thing to do. So for you to find talent, you're going to have to advertise. And your website is the #1 place you can do your advertising. The next thing that you could do, well, you could post on LinkedIn. It's tough to get people to interact on LinkedIn, especially for dealership positions. Now, one thing that I want you to know, you see this is Sheboygan. Hey, Rob, this is Sheboygan County. This guy, you know what this person needs to do? They need to learn paragraphs. Nobody's going to read this block of text. So when you get out there and advertise, you got to break this up for them to read this. You could go out to Glassdoor. But now the interesting thing is, when you go to Glassdoor, people are going to be talking about you as well. And that's the way it works today. The internet has changed everything. It's now a two-way conversation. So people are talking about you as much as you're talking about them. So you got to find people, and you got to do it by advertising. The next thing that you could do, if you're serious, if you're serious about it, you could get a recruiter. Is Adam Wilkie in the crowd? Adam Wilkie, you there? Adam Wilkie from V20 Recruiting and Consulting. He originally a Milwaukee guy. He's now down in Florida. But if you're serious about recruiting, you should talk to Adam. He's at the show.
He's here, Mark. He's here in the audience.
Yeah? All right, cool. Hey, Adam, run to the mic, will you?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Adam. Listen, so you tell me, you guys go from porters to what?
Orders to presidents.
From porters to presidents. If you were to give the dealers in the room 1 or 2 pieces of advice for them to use a recruiter to acquire top talent, what would those 1 or 2 pieces of advice be?
Well, now is more than ever a time to use a recruiter. There's a all-time high demand for talent, a low supply. So we find those people that are not necessarily, Mark, looking for a job. Those are the type of folks that our dealerships want to hire, that are working in the industry, and we can offer them an opportunity that is above and beyond where they're at.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, he's the next generation of the Lonsky group. Adam and I got a chance to spend, maybe 90 minutes on the phone the other day. And he says that you have got to be progressive in your thinking about talent. Adam, tell the group, what do you mean about being progressive in their thinking about talent?
Well, I think you kind of touched on it earlier, Mark. You really have to think out of the box. This is a very challenging labor market. So we have to be creative. We have to come up with solutions to attract talent. It's a lot more than compensation. I think you touched on it earlier. It's company culture, work-life balance, benefits, and the fun factor. Let's remember, we're in a fun industry. And here at V20 Recruiting and Staffing, we've been providing recruiting and staffing solutions to the motorcycle and power sports industries for over 15 years. And it's a fun industry, so let's have fun with it.
There you go. Put your hands together for Adam Wilkie. Adam, thanks for taking the mic. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. All right, now here's the deal. Don't get upset. I'm going to talk about another recruiter then. Here's the other person you should get in touch with. This is Kevin Vaughn from Action Recruiting. He's out in Tennessee, and he goes by the name of Elvis. You don't forget a guy goes by the name of Elvis, and he's good people. And he comes from the Cole Group. He was actually a general manager and a managing partner. And his advice is that dealers have got to stop being customer-centric, but also employee-focused. He says that the top 10% of dealers don't have the bottom 10% of payrolls. And the days of menial wages, ridiculously low commissions, and the constant diet of new compensation plans is over. Listen, this is the other thing that I'm hearing out there. I was listening into some conversations that some salespeople were having. They said, we had a great year last year. We all made money. This year, they cut our pay plan. Listen, nobody wants to work for Jekyll and Hyde. You know what I'm saying? The people have got to be able to depend on what it is they've got going on. All right, a couple of other things. If you want to attract that talent, you've got to do the things that we see here. And people have got to love working there. But you then also have to develop those people. The very first thing that people stopped doing when COVID hit is they stopped training their staff. Don't do it. You want to. You want to cross-train your employees. You want to provide mentorship, if at all possible. And by the way, do you know that most dealership employees that I speak to, they tell me not only do they not have a quarterly performance review with their manager, but they don't even have a yearly performance review with their manager. I know it's hard to believe, but people actually want to talk to you. People want feedback on their performance, and you need to give it to them. And you need to seek opportunities for doing it well. Got a couple of other things I want to get to here. Here we go. As a manager, words matter. This is an example of something you can do on a daily basis to make a difference and show your people that you appreciate them. This is coming from Martin Seligman. He's a university of professor at the University of Pennsylvania, and the leader of the learned optimism movement. You know, when you have a conversation with people, because you're the owner, because you're the manager, that's not just chat. That's feedback to your people. That conversation can either be passive or it can be active. It could either be destructive or it could be constructive. So like when one of your people comes by, right, and they say to you, well, listen, you know, I just had a great day. Well, what do you say? Do you say something like, well, did you get the trade-in bikes cleaned up and on the showroom floor? Well, see, that's passive and destructive. You know, if the person comes by and says to you, well, listen, man, I just had a great day. And you say to them something like, well, let me tell you what happened with my day. Okay, so, you know, now passive and constructive. Guy comes by and says, hey, man, listen, I just had a great day. And you say, well, that's nice. Okay, so you say that's nice, but it's no big deal. You've missed a management opportunity. You've missed an opportunity to feed your talent, to keep those employees for life. What's active and constructive? Guy comes by and says, well, listen, man, I had a great day. And you say, well, tell me about it. Well, a customer came in and I sold that Street Glide, and then a customer came in with his friend and he bragged on me, and now he wants a bike. Oh, and by the way, I had my first FaceTime call with a customer as well. And then you could say something like, let me tell you why you had a great day. See, because you're persistent. That's why you sold that Street Glide. You truly care about your customers. That's why they brag on you and tell their friends. And you're not afraid to try new things. That's why you've now added FaceTime to your toolbox. So now go home, get some rest, and let's do it again tomorrow. An easy technique. But you've got to put energy in if you want your people to give you energy back. All right, a couple of more things. This is what I call my high horsepower management approach. If you want to get things done in your dealership, people have to have the incentive to perform, they have to have the skills to perform, and you have to hold them accountable to perform. Let's say I want to get more down payment on my motorcycle deals. Listen, no money down deals are terrible. No money down deals are the worst thing. It sounds good, right? Sounds like the customer wants it. Sounds like it's a good idea to do. Hang on, my mouse is really janky. No money down deals, right? Sounds great. It's terrible. No money down deals actually the default rate in a no money down deal triples. Even in the top tiers. In top tiers, it triples. It goes from like 0.3 to 0.9. You don't want no money down deals. Why do you want down money in the deal? So then the customer's got equity. So when they come back and they can trade again in 18 months, they're not upside down. Listen, we have so many customers right now that are upside down. We got to dig our way out. So what you've got to do is you've got to get more money down. You want to go up, you got to get down. So here's what you do. You have to give them the skills to be able to perform. You've got to give them the incentive, and then you've got to hold them accountable. So what I might do is I might spiff my guys for getting money down. I might say 10%, $10, maybe 15%, $15. I make it easy. I pay out in cash, payable the next morning in front of everybody in singles, right? Then what I do is I make sure they've got the skills to perform. See, the problem is on the showroom floor, salespeople are promising customers no money down. Don't do it, because now they anchor to zero. Then they get in the F&I office and you can't get them bought with no money down. Now you need 10% down. Now, because of the psychological principle of contrast, now that 10% seems even higher because they were promised no money down on the showroom floor. So what do you have to do? You've got to use your language to frame what's going on. So here's what I'm going to say. On the showroom floor, at some point when I'm working with the customer, I'm going to say, ooh, we should talk about down payment. Our savviest customers typically put between 20 and 25% down on their purchase. And the reason that they do is they simply feel that puts them in a great equity position. It's just something for you to consider. Do me a favor, try the clutch. Now they've got a reasonable and realistic range, and they're thinking that me putting something down behooves me. It's something good for me. Now, maybe they don't have 25%. Maybe they don't have 20%, but maybe they've got 17. Maybe they've got 16. Maybe they've got 15. And right now, let me tell you, if you were getting 15% down in your deals, you'd be doing cartwheels. So now you've got incentive. Now you've got skills. Now you have to hold them accountable. And that means that during the weekly sales meeting, you have a public announcement of individual performance and their down payment for the week. Hey, I want to thank Corey for his down payment performance this week. He was coming at 15% down. I want to thank Sally. She was getting 16% down. And oh man, Madman Rob was ringing the bell at 22% down. Keep it up. You have to have the incentive, you have to have the skills, and then you have to hold them accountable to their performance. And when you do those things, you're in. This might be jinking me up. All right. I could talk for a long time about talent, but we're up against the clock, and I want to introduce you to somebody right now. This is Beth Ernst from Doc's Harley Davidson. She is in a vicious market. Vicious market. I say to Beth, so as a manager, what do you bring to the table every day? And she says, well, every day I just bring love and compassion. In a motorcycle store, this is the owner. She's telling me she's bringing love to the table, right? Well, let me tell you something. The people that work for Beth Ernst love her. She is consistently one of the top ranked dealers in her market. Now, Adam, she's never going to be a Space Coast and doing 2,400 units a year. She's never going to be that. But let me introduce you to Shane Furnish. Shane Furnish is 6'5", crazy 250-pound motorcycle salesperson. He likes working for Beth Ernst so much, he tattooed the name of the dealership on his body, and it says Lifer. Would your people be willing to tattoo the name of your dealership on their body? Here's what I would ask you to do. I want you to think about the greatest manager you ever had in your life. Can you see him? Now, why were they the greatest manager you ever had? And what you should endeavor to do is be that person in somebody else's life. All right, like I said, I could have gone on forever here, but we're up against the clock. Here's what I want to do. If you're interested in I got a Dealer News article called Why Won't They Do It? About employee performance. You email me. I'll send you the article and the audio file. My email is Mark, M-A-R-K, at Rodgers, R-O-D-G-E-R-S, Mark at Rodgers, P is in performance, C is in consulting.com. All right? Now, go be great, will ya? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.